Alright, I'm going to do something a little bit different this video. This is an entire game that I played. As you can see, it's Hollywood. We're attacking. I actually decided to play a Soldier 76 for this game. And let me explain a little bit of my reasonings first off. I looked at the team composition. Of course, these are all random people, as you can tell. Looked at the team composition. I saw that we had our main healer, Lucio. We had a main tank, which in this case is going to be Zarya, it looks like. We already had a flanker in the case of Genji. Zenyatta was doing our long-range DPS, it looks like. And then we had D.Va, who was sort of soon to be our flex in this particular instance. And so seeing that we didn't have a frontline DPS, I decided to go Soldier 76. Usually I play a lot of McCree, but I had been feeling good about Soldier 76 this particular night, so I decided to play some as him. I'm still kind of getting used to the maps, so I wasn't particularly sure if he was great on this map, but I know a lot of people like to say that another kind of frontline DPS, Junkrat, is not very good attacking on Hollywood, so I decided not to stick with him. And like I said, normally I play McCree, but I decided not to do McCree this time. We didn't even have a Reinhardt, who I love to play McCree if we have a Reinhardt, but since we didn't, I didn't. Anyway, getting right into the gameplay here, just poking at the shield a little bit, and then, you know, trying to help our D.Va out once the Reinhardt came in. Right here, you know, got a good pick on the 76. Probably could have gotten another one on the Zenny. Had my aim been a little bit on here, poking out to see what they had right there. Ended up taking down the Torbjorn, which is good. Right here, I didn't realize where the turret was, I think. Almost died. Probably should have died, but didn't. Then poked at the turret with the rest of the team. Took it out. Shouldn't have shot off the Helix rockets there. Right here, thought we were going to have basically a team fight. Didn't realize that my team had just gotten demolished, essentially. So I didn't have anyone backing me up, and I just basically died for nothing. Getting back into it here, I tried to, you know, catch up with my team. What's so great about Soldier 76 is, of course, the sprint, allowing you to not only get up to your team, but if you need to attack from an odd angle, you can get to that odd angle easily. I'm trying to poke right here. Not really sure why I was firing. It's a bit of a weird point there. Could have done a little bit more damage on the Mercy. Again, if my aim was a little bit more on point. I'm looking for an opportunity to use my ultimate right now. Luckily, I was able to get the boost from that Lucio, and I was trying to use it here, but as you can see, I got stunned about the time that I popped it, and only get a little bit use of it. And then, of course, the Reinhardt gets resurrected immediately. I took the health there. I kind of... It's an old TF2 tactic, you know, denying the health packs. I'm not sure if it was helpful in this situation, but that's just kind of what I ended up doing. We managed to get their Zenny and took down the turret there. Then they got 76 poking out from up there. He's got a armor buff, so he's a little bit tankier to me, so I tried not to engage him. Start, you know, at a straight one-on-one.
You got a lot to learn.
And then, of course, he comes around here anyway, and I ended up finishing him off. Right here, you know, I try to focus down the Reinhardt as much as possible, keep our Lucio from dying, but he died anyway. I wasn't really sure that that was their Zenny at first, so I kind of ignored him, but he couldn't do anything anyway. Right here, I probably could have killed the Mercy if my aim had been more on point. I didn't want to engage too deeply, though, because I saw they had two people. Of course, right here, you know, I see that there's a sniper, so I do a little bit of zigzag to get across easily. I should have killed the Reaper. Another point where if I'd had a little bit more aim, that would have been better. I did manage to get the Reinhardt. He went a little bit deep, And then, of course, Mercy resurrects here, so I sort of panic ult in this particular position. I only get the Reinhardt and can't take out the Mercy. Nothing I could have done there would have helped me take out the Mercy. I didn't want to chase her down. Right here I got lucky with the Reaper that he didn't Shadow Step or whatever. And then finally take out that Mercy.
Oh, let's break it. Heal up here.
I could tell that we had the Soldier 76 outmatched, so I wanted to get out there and try to help kill him. That Reinhardt could have gotten us pretty rough with his ult there, but they were kind of lucky. At this point they brought out a Mei. I forget who swapped off to play the Mei, but the Mei kind of becomes a bit of a problem for us for the rest of this. And so does their Hanzo. We got him there, but it's kind of problematic later. I got so lucky here that this was a long enough range to where I didn't get pinned and killed. And this is a pretty long streak, as you can tell so far. Right here, I should have ran the other way instead of staying near the cart. I probably could have survived, but I tried. I threw down the health pack or biotic field and tried to tank the damage as best as I could, but alas, it was not to be had. A lot of action just happened right there, I know, and then there's a bit of a lull at this point as we push through the warehouse. Right here, I'm trying to just, again, find a place to use my ultimate. I decided to try to flank behind them because I know that their Reinhardt shield's going to be a problem. Unfortunately here, I didn't have good eyes on where they were and didn't realize they had pushed up some. I probably could have made better use of that ult had I realized that. Instead, what ends up happening here is I get caught in Mei's ult and then by Mei herself and can't finish off the Mercy.
Helden sterben nicht.
This match is pretty fast-paced for the most part, especially for me. I don't have a lot of downtime in this match. Try not to give any spoilers for the end, but I do stay alive quite a bit, and most of my deaths are in this area. Got a great Helix rocket off on their 76 right there, nearly killing him. Just that Mercy was right there to save him. I didn't forget about the Mei. I knew she was there, but I was giving her time to come out of her shell. Then finished her off since she was discorded. Right here, probably should have died. Of course, our Zinnia had my back here. I hear the 76's ulted. I try to see if I can finish him off there, but the Reinhardt shielded him.
I love
Oh well. Counter ult didn't quite work.
Not dead yet.
We need to get moving.
Their Reinhardt plays a bit aggressively in this match, to his detriment, if I must say, I think. If there's one thing I feel like I did pretty well with throughout this match was I feel like I was pretty good with my biotic fields. There's probably a couple places where I could have done a little bit better, a couple places where I could have used it more. This was a great pick by their Hanzo on me. I didn't want to watch the kill cam.
No rest for the weary.
I am moving the payload.
Our team really didn't change throughout this match because what we were doing, for the most part, seemed to be working. The rest of my team seemed like they were getting work done. I probably wouldn't change it off most of them.
Helden sterben nicht.
Maybe our Diva. I didn't really see her doing as much work as the rest of us, but maybe that was just me. Lucio saving the whole team right there with his ult. That was fantastic. Right here, the Hanzo starts getting behind us, and that's real annoying because that ended up being a pretty decent ult from him. I think we did get away for the most part. I tried to catch the Mei as she got out of her shell, of course. I don't think they got a really good ult from that. Looked like there was maybe 1 kill, 2 kills that came of it. Another point where their Reinhardt goes bonkers, but he manages to survive then.
For deployment. I've got you in my
Right here, I was hoping to get the Reinhardt because he had charged, but it didn't work out, and then Mei blocks the rest of it. It just ended up being another bad ult. I really didn't get off any good ults throughout this entire match.
mission ain't over yet.
I definitely should have waited for my team to give me a little bit more of an opportunity for some of those. But I managed to get their Mercy there, which is, I feel like a pretty big pick at this point in the game.
Fire at will.
And then this was huge as well. So they're already about 3 or 4 down, and we're pushing into the last bit of it here. Their Reinhardt tries to get in and do some work, but we've switched off. We got a Mei now instead of, I think our Zenyatta might have swapped off. Again, the Hanzo got behind us, probably could have ruined us there, but our Lucio died breaking it down and really helped us push it in. And as you can see, my performance was pretty good throughout. Not good enough for play of the game. I didn't get any big plays, so to speak, but 17 kill streak, or elimination streak, not too bad. This was fantastic opportunity for an ult for him. Though I think 76 definitely excels on defense a little bit more than offense, and that kind of showed why, because he could just let everyone come to him in his kill zone, whereas I have to make the opportunity. Anyway, it was a pretty good match. As you can see, this team won. You know, I rated it up and everything, and I felt pretty good about that performance. Very good all around. So thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. I might put one up of this in the future again if it seems to work out. Thanks.